Good evening. This is week number 4 discussion. I found the video to be very practical. I didn't think that Tim Ferriss's ideas were too far-fetched or something that I've never heard of before. In fact, I think that the idea of fear setting is really good, especially for a leader who has to be really practical about weighing the risks and the benefits when making choices. I just think Tim took it to another level, making it more of a personal thing and making more just basic decisions throughout life, not just when it comes to the big decisions. So yeah, I thought what he had to say was really practical, and it was good to just see it kind of laid out in steps to make it applicable to just your own life. Sticking to questions, what do I think the relationship between fears and goals is? I think in order to reach your goals, you have to be able to pursue them with the knowledge that there's risks involved in your goals, and your fears about those risks could hinder you from pursuing your goals at all. So in order to reach your goals, you have to face your fears and you have to overcome them. And those fears might come to pass. They might actually happen, or they might never happen, which that kind of refers back to the Seneca quote that he used that says, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." I think when we don't realistically think about, okay, what could happen, and kind of plan ahead, that's when worry sets in, is when we kind of suppress those fears and don't prepare for them and just say, oh, that will never happen, or that will never happen, and then something happens, and then we're so just surprised that we don't have anything planned to overcome those fears, and we may never continue towards our goals if we just feel so caught off guard by those things actually happening because we weren't prepared to face those things. How might this process of fear setting help us achieve our goals? I think when you are planning your goals, when you have ideas of things you want to achieve, it's really important to think about what could go wrong. Like I said just a minute ago, in order to reach those goals, you have to think about what could go wrong and kind of plan ahead, have a plan B, if you will. And that way, if you face those bumps in the road, which you probably will, you can overcome them and you can get through them. Something came to mind when I watched this video, and it's something that a dear friend of mine told me. I went to him for some wise counsel, and I was really struggling with making any moves of progress forward in a couple of different areas of my life, schooling being one of them. And I told him how I was feeling overwhelmed with options and what could go wrong, and how am I gonna pay for it, or how am I gonna have time to finish things during the week, and all these what ifs going on in my mind. And all the while he just listened, and when I was done talking, he said, does this sound like you? And he showed me this picture, and it was two characters, and one was holding a pole, and on that pole there was a ring dangling from a line, and the other character was underneath that ring, jumping for it, never reaching it. And this friend said, now which character looks more like you? And I just chuckled and I said, both. And he said, I knew you were going to say that, because that's exactly what a perfectionist would say. And this paper that he handed me was all about perfectionism, and I never thought of myself that way, but this paper kind of described that and totally described how I was feeling. But to kind of get through that, he said, perfection is not real. It's not realistic. You want to aim for excellence, and so he gave me this kind of instruction not to aim for perfection, because perfection is like that loop that you're always trying to catch and it's always too far from your reach. And perfection hinders you from going for your goals, because you feel like if you make a mistake, then you have to quit completely if it's not perfect. And it causes you to only stay within your comfort zone, only reach your goals that are within your ability at the time. Whereas excellence pushes you past what you're capable of doing. It's high risk. It comes with the knowledge that you won't be perfect, you will make mistakes, but it's still worth pursuing. And instead of saying you have to be perfect, it says do your best. And that's kind of my takeaway from this fear setting is, hey, you have to be aware of what might happen, but it won't be perfect. But go for it anyways. Be mindful about what could happen. Do your best. Be excellent. And don't let your fears, those roadblocks, keep you from pursuing your goals. Let them be your launching pad to reach your goals and have a story along the way. Thank you.